finally made it home. Feeling kind of rough too right now, people. Oh, it is hot than a mug out there, and y'all are not going to believe what or how I got home. Damn it! Come on, you. Damn it! Why do I always gotta lose my? Every time YouTube screws me over, and I gotta go and fix their mistake. Now I lose my background. Hold on, Mr. Legend, and anybody else that may have joined already. Allow me just a moment to retrieve. There we go. My background. Moto girl, what's good with you, Moto girl? What up, legend? Is pissed. Yeah, fuck yeah, legend. Fuck yeah, legend. And you know what? I know that cursing is gonna end up getting me another strike on this damn live, but I don't even care. Well, I'm glad you're doing better, Ms. Moto girl. My scooter broke down. Very, very far from home. And there was a whole series of events that took place between then and now. Oh, man. But I am finally home. And I happen to have been recording. So we have a video to make out of the foolishness that I have just endured. And so far, I think something's going right. I ordered me some Granddaddy Perk. 114 degrees is crazy, legend. But I found out that dry heat really ain't shit. That shit is nothing compared to humidity. And I'm gonna tell you right now why. I was not aware of this until recently. There's something called the wet bulb temperature. Pause. Right? And now, the reason that temperature exists is because the way sweat works, when it evaporates from your skin, that's how it cools you down. If it's too humid for the sweat to evaporate, then 81 degrees Fahrenheit is enough to kill you. The wet bulb temperature, basically, like the temperature at which you will die at 100% humidity, 81 degrees. I know the moment you stop sweating is bad here. Yeah, that means that you don't have enough water. But just because you think you stop sweating doesn't necessarily mean you stop sweating. Because when the air is that dry, it evaporates so quickly that sometimes you won't even notice that that you were sweating. pH electrolyte balance. Oh shit! Legend said his drinks are strong enough for a man, but pH balance for a woman. That true, Legend? Oh fuck. I mean, Bebop said he ain't gonna be watching the channel no more, but you never know. Can't take that risk. Cannot take that risk. No, pH base level regulations. If I know I'm just joking, bro. You don't remember those deodorant commercials? I can't remember the brand name. I think it was Secret, but I'm not sure. And the commercials always used to say, "Strong enough for a man, pH balance for a woman." So once I heard you say pH, I was like, "Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit." Legend, did you see any of the new out like series? Easy workout, but I just walked the fucking school. Oh, yeah. I wonder if that's the reason. The reason. Muffler. If that's the reason. Give me 1 second, people. Hold on, legend. Let's not be hasty now. Let's try turning on the Wi-Fi first before we restart the stream. And if that's not good enough, then we can restart. What up, Layla? Oh man, I feel like I got spider crawling on me. What the fuck? That shit just came out of nowhere. Ah, that sucked. Yeah, I just turned on the Wi-Fi, legend. Layla, were you there when I broke down? El, hold that door. What's good, brother? Bro, man. Fucking scooter broke down on me. 10 miles away from home, bro. I don't know, legend. I didn't remember that I was going to ask you something, bro. I'm so fucking stressed out today. What up, Trey? Trey. I, I'm pissed off right now because my fucking scooter broke down on me and it was a bitch for me to get home. I got out of work at 5 o'clock and I just got home. But I made a discovery today. Either me and you got completely different tastes, or you got some trash because it was the end of that fucking batch. Because my granddaddy perp came in today. That's what's in this right here. And I'm enjoying the fuck out of this. That shit that I got from Super Greens, however, trash. Words do is dead. Yo, bro, I was on live with it happened, bro. You can check it out. It's still up. Pause. I fucking I was on live and then all of a sudden she just went boom. Go get a new R1. Yeah, right. Fucking piece of shit. Could imagine how much worse the new one is. Mine is a 2021. That was like right when COVID started. After COVID is when everybody started fucking up. So imagine how much worse it is now. Alyssa, what is good? Wait, Yeet? Do I not have all messages on? Yes, I do have all messages on. I see Alyssa shouted out Yeet, but I don't see no Yeet. Pause. E-bike. Yeah, legend, I hear you, but those e-bikes, bro, the one that goes fast enough for me, for where I need to go, I gotta go far, dude. Those things are expensive, bro. For that, I could get my ground fixed. Boston Bill, what's the deal, man? Were you in the chat when I fucking broke down, dude? Oh, he said yurt. I thought it said yeet. My bad. She Devil 420. It's me, Dina. Why you change your name, Dina? What type of foolery are you up to? I just got an e-bike. How much was it? Yeah, well, dude, that shit sucked, bro. Yo, you know what's crazy though? This Colombian dude pulled up on me, and I put my peg out, and he fucking put his foot on my peg, and he pushed me all the way home. Pause, by the way. Put his foot on my peg is crazy, but he pushed me all the way to fuck home. It goes 30, 65 miles, full charge, pedal assist. Yeah, see the 30 though I can't do. I would need one that goes like 50 or 60 because the shit is, the only thing I really need it for is to go to work, and my job's like 14 miles away. And I am sure as fuck not leaving early enough to ride all the way there at 30 miles an hour. Yeah, they now I know they got faster ones, but those things are expensive, bro. Remember, I got a little Honda motorcycle too. I blew the engine in that shit. Realistically, I could rebuild it for less, but I could get a new engine put in for like under 1,000. So, um, for the money that it would cost me to buy the e-bike that's fast enough, I could easily fix my ground. I gotta stop picking this shit. I get the Onyx RC, get the on. How much is it, Legend? If it's the shit I need, guarantee you it's out of my price range. Mind you, remember when I bought this scooter, dude? If I had money for shit like that, I would have just fixed my Grom. Like when I bought this scooter, I didn't have the money to go buying that shit. They financed it. People, I doubt anybody's gonna finance an e-bike. You 2005 FXST, look it up for sale, 6,000. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. 6,000 fucking dollars, bro. You know what kind of motorcycle I can get for $6,000? An R7, bro. That shit is like. My Harley is nice. Yeah, man. Harleys are nice bikes. Not my style. I overthink things, and I've heard from so many people that they leak oil, and I know they tend to vibrate, so I can't fuck with it. But I want a Honda Golden. That's what I want. Yo, Trey, man. Trey. You almost discouraged Unc from trying this granddaddy perk. And I am really, really enjoying it. Oh, that's different story, bro. You're saying the 2005 Harley is for sale, 2000 best offer. When I don't know, I didn't know what the FSXT was, so I thought that was an e-bike. Oh no, yeah, nah. Do you see what I'm saying though? Now the e-bike that Legend was talking about is 5100. So that was my whole point. When am I gonna buy an e-bike for 5100 when I can get a Harley for 6,000? Like that shit, you know, that you just made my point for me. Now, if I could get a fucking 60-mile-an-hour e-bike for like 800, 1,000, yeah, okay, absolutely. But fucking 5,000, fuck that. I'd rather just buy a bike. Less maintenance on an e-bike. Yeah, I understand, bro. And it's fucking less maintenance if you sit down to pee. But you know what I mean? That's not who I am, bro. You ain't gotta wipe fucking driplets off the toilet every once in a while. But you know what? That's a small fucking price to pay. 2400, you can get it clean. Yeah, but even then, 2400. Now you talking about I could get like an R3 for that. Throw in another $600, and the R3 does a lot more than 65. Oh, you got. Yeah, I'm sure. I guess that means I love all you got. We love you too, Boston Bill. Hold the door and listen. They know what time it is, man. Trey knows what's up. Trey drives a fucking vet, man. Like it's like trying to tell Trey to get a fucking Prius because there's less maintenance. Fuck out of here. What up, Yeet? Oh, by the way, does everybody want to know how this was me and how I called it this morning? I was afraid from this morning that I was going to break down because I brought it on my fucking self. Does anybody want to hear what I did to cause this bad karma? Get the Mad Max scooter that does 90 miles an hour, bro, but it's probably too expensive. I didn't go to boxing today. I'm so upset. I just practiced at home. Why you ain't go? I can't get over it. It's less bad. It is to sit down and pee. Yo, but am I wrong though, man? Like legit, every once in a while, the was rolled, and now you got to be wiping up piss, especially, you know what I mean? Like it's definitely less maintenance, but I'm not gonna do it. You like to hear the karma? Yeah. All right, so check this out. I came up with a song last night and perfected it today that I was going to use in one of my shorts. Some of you are probably too young to know the original, but there was a man named Tom Petty that came out with a song that called Breakdown, meaning give me the breakdown. Like he was telling the chick to explain to him what the fuck, happened, like to break down all the details of the fucking night that they went through. And so my version, hold on, I want to get some privacy. These people out here. Let me put my joint up in the ass street. Go roll up another one, and I will let you guys hear the song that got me fucked up. Um, all right, so if you guys think that was funny, wait till you hear the song that I made up that I'm blaming for what just happened to me. So I was gonna make it short with the fucking idiots that ride next to each other and fucking idiots that break check for no reason. And I was gonna sing this song. I don't care if you, I don't care if you don't. What I really hate is when you drive next to me, bitch. I really wish that you won't. You drive like you got dementia. Your foot was riding the brake. I was stuck behind you. I pulled up beside you because I had some shit to say. I hope you break down 3 a.m. on the BQE. Break down at noon on Florida's Turnpike. Break. I hope you down every hour on the taxi. I hope your breakdown lasts all night. Stuck all night. Yeah, all night. So I made a song wishing on somebody that they would fucking break down in the worst of worst circumstances. And then, 10 hours later, after I finished the song, I break down in the worst of worst situations. I feel like I was here for the live on the scooter. It just happened. It was just now. I just got home, bro. I stopped at the rest stop. How did you get it back? Yo, some Colombian dude on a scooter pulled first some fucking I hate to what is it called? I feel like for the song. Nah, that song was this is the first time anybody ever heard that shit. It was never publicized. I just came up with that shit this morning. So anyway, um what's it called? So Paulie see some Colombian dude pulled up. Yo, help. Nah, not with a belt. The Colombian dude pulled up. First, the crackhead mechanic, he did something to get it to fucking stop. He took some hose off the carburetor. He plugged the hose with his finger, plugged where the hose goes into with his other finger, pause, and it started right up. And I made it like 4 more miles, then it died again. So, what's it called? That's when this Colombian dude on a scooter pulled up on me. Um, what's it called? Motherfucker, you ain't tell me 3 ways to get home. You told me 3 shits that I was not gonna be able to do. So, anyway, dude pulled up and he put his foot on pause on my peg and he fucking pushed me the rest of the way home. Yeah, Paulie, man, I'm sure it's something simple, but like, I am not mechanically inclined at all whatsoever. I can swap out a part, like if I know what part needs to be changed, but like to diagnose something or whatever, like to fix, I can't do that shit. I know somebody that's really good with that shit, but this motherfucker don't want to help me. So I'm like, oh, you're gonna have to learn one day. All right, motherfucker. Well, I don't know now, and I need help. Did you ask Chat GPT for clues? Nah, Chat GPT's always fucking lying, bro. With my R1, when that shit started making that fucking noise, I asked that I explained the noise and all that shit. I'm like, hey, can I make it to work one time before I bring it to the shop, or should I bring it right to the shop? Nah, you be alright. And that shit fucking died on me. Yo, it's not even that it's compromised, Paulie. See, they're fucking dumb. They're not as smart as people think they are. You know what I mean? All it is a language model. It's a predictive language model, not the Chat GPT. Shit, I just got it when I moved out to Florida. Never used it before. Yo, it's helpful for certain shit. Um, what's it called? It's helpful with certain shit, but it's not anything that people can rely on. You know what I mean? Like, you can ask it to do simple tasks. Like, when I want to fucking write a YouTube script, I'll write my whole fucking script. I'll tell Chat GPT to analyze like all the viral videos out there, compare them, see what it is that they have in common, and make any improvements that need to be made to my script to match that format. Yep. You know what I mean? Like shit like that, I'll use it for, but that's about it. I'd rather trust the sea monster than ChatGPT. You funny, Raina. Raina, you got me dying here. It's 66% accuracy. Yo, but here's the whole thing that pisses me off about ChatGPT, right? I'll ask it sometimes, to reach. Like I asked it to give me a whole bunch of examples of. I'm starting a new channel, 90 shit. So I asked it to go get me a bunch of examples of like scandals that happened in the 90s that are like shocking, but not too many people know about. And it gave me a shit ton. And then it told me, oh, and I specifically said in the instructions, like, do not stop until you run out and there is no more examples. And then it comes and it's like, oh, do you want me to check these archives and that archives? I'm like, dumbass. Fucking, I told you that. Not only yes, but you should have done that shit without being asked. Oh yeah, you're totally right to call me out on that. You did say that in the original instructions and blah 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 blah. And then it still won't give me any more results. And I'm like, so what the fuck? Like, what are you waiting for? I talk to that thing like it's an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. And this probably makes it worse. See, me being a petty human being is just making my own life harder with the chat GPT because it's not real. It's not a thing. It doesn't fucking think. It doesn't have feelings. It's a computer fucking program that predicts things. It's a predictive language model. So when it answers, when it does that shit, and I start being sarcastic and fucking cursing him out, it doesn't make it. It doesn't like fix it. It makes it like more confused. Dudes, I'm still gonna be in the stream, but I'm gonna be doing my boxing routine. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Shit, yo, it's the AI. You think I'm gonna be put on a list? Nope. Fuck that. I want to be put on a list. Bro, let me explain something, right? I might not come off this way in the fucking stream, but I'm a little. Something wrong with me, right? In a good way. My favorite historical figure, like I don't have idols because I'm a Christian, but you know what I mean? Like, if I could meet anybody from history, pause, it would be John Hancock. Do you know why? Why you call me a crackhead, Trey? Oh, the crackhead and tried to pull that shit back. Pause. Um. Well, the reason John Hancock is my favorite fucking political figure ever, or like famous ever, anything, is because he's famous. People they got it fucked up. They teach you history wrong in school because they want it to be boring because they don't want anybody what's it called? Anybody to ever try the shit again that they did back then. But people think that he's famous for being the first one to sign the Declaration of Independence or some shit. Nah, hell no, he wasn't the first. What he did was he signed his name the biggest. His name was giant in the middle of all the fucking signatures because he wanted the king to see that shit. He wanted to make sure the king knew that this fuck you came specifically in part from him. Come see me. Those were the people that started this country. And that's the dude that I admire the most. So if AI is putting people on this, put me on that list first. Please come find me. Oh, the door. We are tired of 69 subs. That's what's up, man. Yeah, I keep posting shorts. That's how you get subs. Like, let me tell you something. I got one short that I got like 3,000 subs from one fucking short. Dre, I would love to live with Elvis. Elvis. How you gonna compare Elvis to the most gangster dude that ever lived, bro? The king of England, bro. Britain owned everything, the whole known world, bro. It was like an empire. They conquered the world, bro. And these people 3% of the colonists that came from England over here to the New World stood up and won. And the most gangster one out of all of them, you gonna compare to fucking Elvis, bro? King of Rock versus the King of... Yeah. Whenever I hear King of Rock, I think Uncle Ruckus. Do you know the episode I'm talking about? You can't compare a chocolate monkey like R. Kelly to Jerry Lee Lewis. Jerry Lee Lewis was the king of rock and roll. Fucking Uncle Ruckus, man. There you back in the 60s, whole world with the stuff at. Oh shit, skinny Elvis or fat Elvis? That's fucked up how he ended up though, man. Them drugs will get you. Damn, Trey. You ain't like this fucking granddaddy perp, dude. I like this shit better than anything I ever got from Super Greens. Are you serious, bro? Yeah, so that had to be, because it was the end of the batch. You know, they don't show this shit on stream, but remember, this is tobacco. It's trans tobacco. It is not in any way, shape, or form against any type of YouTube guideline. But I want to show Trey, pause, what mine looks like. Never mind the first. Wait, stop, because you did the voice so well. I'm good at doing impersonations, Alyssa. That's why I can do all the accents. It's not like I'm immersed in these different cultures. I'm good at impersonating, like can imitate somebody. Like when I do an accent, when I do an Indian accent, when I do a Spanish accent, when I do whatever accent, Italian accent, any accent, it's always an actual imitation of a particular person that I know that talks like that. Bro, it smells amazing, bro. Like I said, when I went to go get that shit right after you got it, it was sold out, which means they must have been down to the end. Oh wow, Alyssa does not fuck, man. She knows that my other phone got fucked up, compromised, and now she's just trying to build up some t-shirts for me since I lost all my screenshots. Yo, good looking out, Alyssa. Talk about my cat is absolutely geeked out. Yo, that shit is crazy. I might have to blank out everything after the C and catnip. Is absolutely geeked out from blank. have to blank out the G also. Oh shit! Fucking Trey, talking about my pack doesn't smell too good. It's crazy. Oh, he paused it. Good man. Yeah, I guarantee you that's what it was. I guarantee you it was just the end of the fucking batch. But you know what? At the same time, yeah, nah, I know he paused. I seen it. Yo, the way you said that though, he paused. He's safe, right? Um, don't let him go down with me. It's crazy. Yo, don't be talking about no 69s in the chat, Alyssa. That shit is crazy, man. You too young for that shit, man. The fuck, man? What is with you lately? You haven't been pausing nothing. Talking about don't let him go down with me, and don't even with caps, all caps, and no pause. That shit is wild, Alyssa. Are you okay? Are you feeling all right? Man, I'm over here. It's fucking you over here. Yo, I'm sorry. I haven't opened up my OG Kush yet, though. I hope that shit is still good. Oh shit! Even Raider called you out on it. Getting real. All right, check this out. Check this out. Check this out. Alyssa's in a slump. In professional sports, when one of the greats starts fucking up, it's called a slump. So we're gonna give Alyssa a week to get out of her slump. So right now it is July 22nd. Alyssa is officially pause exempt until July 29th. Unless hears that she is purposely abusing the pause exemption, in which case it can be revoked. But until further notice, Alyssa is pause exempt. She can breathe a little bit. Hold on 1 second, peoples. One second, I'm sorry. These punches ain't lagging. No dude's gonna realize that after I beat the shit out of him. What I'm concerned with. Maybe I want to take your nickname away, Muhammad Ali. So this way I don't wish nothing bad on you. But I think the problem is you taking too many punches, and now you can't even pause no more. Like, pause. I think them headshots are getting to you. And Alyssa, you do realize I will hurt your feelings so bad because remember, Unc has a high threshold for pain. I broke my back and was walking with my chick's parents 5 fucking miles the next day, and my knee was smashed because I didn't want to give her father the satisfaction of talking shit that I hurt myself on the fucking bike after he'd been telling me to stop riding. So I will legit just stand there and let you keep hitting me until you fucking get tired and you can't hit me no more, and I will laugh at you the whole time you're doing it. That's what I used to do to my mom when I was like 50, when I was like your age. My mom used to hit me in my face and everything, full force, give me everything she got, closed fist, and I would just laugh at her. I'd be like, yo, Ma, come on, stop. You're gonna hurt yourself. My mom was a New York City cop. Could you imagine how that made her feel? That she's giving everything she got to her 15-year-old son and he's laughing in her face? Oh, that shit was funny. We're good now, but that shit was funny. Like, it's one thing when the dude overpowers a chick, but it's another thing when he don't even bother. You know? You'll still have some mark? Nah. Nope. And even if I do, I don't care. Remember my fucking my ankle? I'll just pour some alcohol on that shit and call it a day. See, let me explain something to you. Just so you don't get discouraged if you spar against these dudes, right? And they wipe the floor with you. There's a reason that the trannies in women's sports are dominant, even though they're mediocre at best. Our muscles are different. We're physically built different. We have bigger shoulders. You have bigger hips. You know, and the proportions are different. The muscle fibers are different. Everything is different. So if you think about it, I'm about 200 pounds, right? A pit bull that's 90 pounds or 45 pounds, fucking 90 pounds. They aren't even really pit bulls that are 90 pounds. You got a 45-pound pit bull, he will fuck me up because their muscles are different. It doesn't matter, that I'm way bigger and way heavier than him. Like that, I got the size. Nah, none of that shit matters. The muscles in that fucking jaw are so fucking. It's ridiculous. It's not even comparable. So that's the same thing when it comes to men and women. Before puberty, it's all even. After puberty, a dude that doesn't work out at all will beat the fuck out of a chick that trains every single day. Even a chick that's like that can fight, like MMA, like me right now. Like check this out. There was an MMA fighter, right? A MMA fighter that was got into a fight with a line chef at her job or whatever. A dude that was a cook. He wasn't a professional fighter. He didn't train. He didn't nothing. He didn't work out. None of that shit. And she punched him or whatever, and he beat the fuck out of her. And she came on to the interview and she was like, yo, dude, that humbled the fuck out of me. Like, yo, I'm an MMA fighter. I'm a champion. I am never going to put my hands on a fucking man again. Any man. Because he's going to fuck me up. What's your question? So yeah, that could be discouraging to people that take it the wrong way. But if you don't take it the wrong way, you understand we all have different strengths. We're all here for different things. And together as a team is the only way we work. There's plenty of things that women can do a lot better than us. There's plenty of things that we can do a lot better than you. And that's why we're supposed to be together. Is it true that all guys want the same things at my age? Absolutely. And I'm going to explain to you why. At that age, they're going through a lot of hormonal changes. And they're aroused all day, constantly. And to a man, being aroused and not being able to do anything about it, it's a bodily function. Like to women, sex is emotional. Like there's a lot involved. You know what I mean? There's exceptions, obviously. Not all women are like that. Most of the ones that are not like that were abused when they were younger. But what's it called? To women, sex is just a different thing altogether. You know, to men, it's more like a bodily function, and the reason we're designed like that is because take society away. Society's a new thing. Humans have been around a lot longer than fucking norms and laws and fucking traditions and shit, right? So for a man, the best thing that he can do for the survival of the species is to go around impregnating as many women as possible. And he's not going to do that if it's a chore. So it was made to be something that we crave, on a primal level. Now, the best thing that women can do for the survival of the species is to select which men get to reproduce, because not all of them have strong enough genes to pass on. You get what I'm saying? So that's the reason that women approach it the way that they do, because on a primal level, the selection is the most important thing. You can only be pregnant once, you know what I'm saying, per year or whatever the case may be. So it matters that if you're going to get pregnant, it's going to be from the absolute best possible choice. And for a man, he doesn't have that limitation. So his desire is to go out there and spread his genes as much as possible. Now, the way we live in modern society, kids are expensive. Kids back in the day, it used to be the more kids you had, the more help you had around, the farm and all that shit. Now it's like the more kids you have, the more bills you have. So it's not really, it's not like it used to be. But we still have those same desires as a species. So when the boys are at your age, they're just now for the first time in their life experiencing those feelings. So they don't understand how to control them. The only thing that they can think of is quenching that fucking desire that they have. It's like if you really have to pee. Imagine if you really have to pee. The only thing you give a fuck about right now is finding a bathroom. After you use that bathroom, you might stick around. You might leave. It all depends. Is it a public bathroom? Is it a family bathroom? Is it the bathroom at your home? Is it the bathroom at school during school hours? All of that will decide whether or not you actually stay in the place that you found the bathroom. But when you have to pee, that bathroom is the only thing you give a fuck about. So that's the boys your age right now. Some of them are gonna stick around after, some of them are not. But all of them want that. And it never really goes away. You gotta understand, I'm 44 years old and I'm still there. Obviously it's not the only thing that I want, but it's mandatory. I will not go on a second date if the first one didn't go well. I never have in my entire life. Never. In my entire life, I have never been on a second date with a chick that didn't put out on the first one. First of all, damn. Second, thank you for being honest. That's why I asked you. I saw that. I was caught up in what I was saying. I didn't read it out loud. Facts. Legend said facts. Trey said, that needs to be a short. I might, you know what? I'll throw it up on the Young Podcast. What up, James? So, Alyssa, understand too where the saying comes from that nobody's gonna buy the cow if they can get the milk for free. So basically, just because that's what they're after doesn't mean that the right one won't stick around and wait even if you don't give it to him. And realistically, as a woman, the best thing that you can give the man that you spend the rest of your life with is your purity. Like, you're not really gonna care too much that he has past experience with women. As a matter of fact, you're not gonna be attracted to him unless he has past experience with women, because you want um him to be experienced. You don't want him to be a dude that nobody wants. But him, he wants you to be pure. So when you finally find the man that you want to settle down with and you want to be with for the rest of your life, like, believe me, you'll feel a lot better if he's your first. The advice guy said, a girl that gives it up on the first day is definitely not wife material. Oh, Confucius say you wrong, my friend. Every chick will give it up on the first date. It just depends on who she'll give it to. If they really like you, they make you wait because they want you to think they're not like that. If they're just attracted to your body because they have urges just like we do, they will put out on the fucking first date. My thing is, I find the ones that really like me and try to make me wait, and then I respect it, and I offer to drop them off. And then when they tell me, we're having a great time, why do you want to drop me off? I go, well, I thought we were having a great time, but obviously we are not on the same page. We're not looking for the same thing. And I wouldn't want to keep you here under false pretenses. So I respect your wishes. It's all good. Like, I am typically used to when if I'm going to be in a lasting relationship with somebody, it's usually where the first date was so passionate that neither one of us could keep our hands off of each other. And no matter how hard you tried to hold back, there was no possibility of holding back. If that's not us, that's cool. But I'd rather wait until that comes along. I've experienced it before, and I really like that. So we can be friends. But I mean, if you're not into me like that, just drop you off. It's not a big deal. If they want you and they're just trying to play good girl, after you tell them that shit, you're in. Legend said the need and the desire for ice cream is a metaphor. See, Raina said that's true. Advice guy. A woman just admitted it. And you know that if a guy is gonna sit here and put words in a woman's mouth and he don't know what he's talking about, they are real quick to call us out on that shit. My school pump fake releasing schedules. What you mean, Yee? Legend said test. And then let me tell you something else too, advice guy. Here was always my thought process, right? I wouldn't feel comfortable marrying a chick that I didn't smash on the first date, because in the back of my head I know somebody else did. And to think that somebody else hit my wife faster than I did, oh fuck no, that shit would burn me, bro. That shit would absolutely burn me. You feel me, hold the door? Am I wrong though? Let me tell you something, man. All women are the same. They all have their own differences to them. It's not a mass produced product, but they all have certain qualities that are exactly the same. And one of those qualities is their loyalty is based on you, not them. See, as a man, it's hard to understand that because you have, if you're a real man, your loyalty is a character trait. You're loyal to a fault. Even when the people around you don't uphold their end, you don't let that change who you are. That's a man. A woman is loyal as long as she admires you, as long as she respects you, as long as she looks up to you, she'll be loyal. The second she looks at you as an equal, she's gonna start looking at you like you beneath her. And that loyalty will go out the window because a woman will only be with a man that she can respect. And a woman will constantly test you to see if you're deserving of her respect. And the way that you handle those tests determines whether or not you can trust that bitch. It's not on her. So, I mean, that's a beautiful thing in a way because that means you can control it. What sucks is that you have to admit to yourself, and I have to admit to myself, that any relationship that I've ever been in that didn't work out because the bitch was disrespectful was my fault. I didn't keep myself in a stoic way to manage her ongoing respect. You know, when you start getting out of character, when you get emotional around a chick, she loses respect for you. And I don't mean emotional like sharing your feelings. I mean even getting angry. Like once a chick starts seeing you yelling and shit, even if you're not yelling at her, the minute chick sees you start yelling, it's over. She loses respect for you. Especially when, see, like when I was younger, I was a much different person. And I used to really try to make myself seem that scary. Um, and most of the people that I hung out around, hung around with, were real dangerous people. So they weren't afraid. So it was like, as long as I had my chick around other people that were like me, she would never notice how I was. But the second somebody that I didn't like, or someone that I didn't respect, or someone that I considered to be a bitch, did something to irritate me, that's when they would notice because I didn't yell. I was like, let me give you an example, right? One day I'm in my truck rolling up in the ice cream truck in the depot. And I got my new chick with me. That was actually the chick that I moved down to Florida with. I was with her for a long time. I was 9 when I met her. And I was still like, loose cannon. And like you guys know already how I am as a person. Like I don't withhold anything. Like I say whatever comes to my mind. Back then I was always angry. So imagine how I was. So now, and that's all it was. I was never trying to be tough. I was never trying to make a reputation for myself. Anytime I was ever like, did anything to harm anybody, it was all because I was pissed off. So yeah, pause. I give you that. So now I'm in my truck rolling up, right? And my boy, who's still my boy to this day, he's sitting in the driver's seat. I'm in the back of the serving area rolling up. And we're in the depot. And everybody else could smoke in the depot, but I pissed off the guy that's in charge of the depot one too many times, so he don't let me smoke in there. So I'm rolling up, And so I got to smoke it in my truck privately. Everybody else just walks around the depot smoking. So now, while I'm rolling up, my boy's in the passenger seat, and he's talking to some fat fuck that I never seen before. And the kid is like standing outside the truck, the doors open, and they're having a conversation. And me and my chick were in the back of the truck, and I'm rolling up. And now I'm expecting my homeboy, since he's in my truck about to smoke my shit, pause, um, that he's gonna have the sense to keep an eye on me and pay attention and notice when I'm done rolling up, so he can have that fucking door closed without me having to ask him, and I can just light my joint freely as I please, right? So when that's not what happened, as soon as I'm done rolling up, while his boy was in the middle, I'm like, yo, close the door, I'm about to roll up. He's like, he's talking. I closed the door myself. I said, I don't give a fuck. I just said, close the door. I'm about to roll. I'm done rolling up. And I just lit my fucking blunt, and that was it. Like, I acted like nothing happened at all whatsoever. You know? And then there was another time, there was a dude. This is a long story. I'm going to have to give you guys the background information. The first time I ever met this dude, right? James, I'm going to check your chats out in a minute, bro. I'm on a roll right now. So the first time I ever met this dude, he pissed me off. And it was at my house. I told my homeboy to invite him over and tell him to stop at the store and grab me some shit, right? Um, so he pissed me off and I kicked him out of my house. And the exact words that I said to him, and back then it meant a lot. If I went and put my foot in my mouth, pause, and I said some shit that I shouldn't have said, I still had to make good on it because I said it. I'll be mad at myself for saying it, but I had to do what I threatened to do. So I told this dude, from now on, nice and calm, from now on, anywhere you go for the rest of your life, make sure first that I'm not going to be there. If I ever see you again, I'm going to spit in your face, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck if it's at my own funeral. I will wait from the dead just to spit in your fucking face. You understand what I'm saying to you? And now, the look of fucking fear on this dude's face was ridiculous, right? Then, I see him like a month later. I'm sorry, way longer than that. It was a while, like 6 months later. Like, a whole bunch of time went by. And I was not even mad no more. But I'm not a liar. So now I got his boy in the car with me, who's not a bitch. and I got his older brother's friend also in the car with me, who's not a bitch. And they're both telling me, yo, come on, chill, leave me alone. Like, I can't, bro. It's out of my fucking hands. Like, I told him next time I see him, da-da-da-da-da. And now he's on my fucking block, bro. I didn't catch him at the shopping mall. We're on my block. What the fuck is he thinking? Right? So, I pull up on him. Like, I move up. I put my car towards him. And I'm sorry. I stopped my car and I tried to spit on him from where I was. And I missed. So now, I didn't feel like getting out of the fucking car. So I backed my car up. Pull up next to him, right next to him. And now the dude that he's walking with, I don't know this guy from a fucking hole. I never seen him before in my life. He now stands like in between me and dude. And I told him, nice and calm, straight face, bro, I don't know you. I don't have any problems with you. You see I'm trying to spit on this fucking guy. And you're in the way. Can you please fucking move out of the way so I can spit on your boy and be about my day, please? He didn't move. I know what fear looks like. It wasn't fear. He was not at all afraid. He just didn't know how to react to that. He was confused, like, huh? And then he just moved. Like, well, if you could ask me nicely. So then I spit in Buddy's face. I sat there for a minute, gave him the opportunity to do something about it. He didn't do shit about it. So then went on with my life like, nothing ever happened. That's the background information. So now my boy, the one that was in the car with me, begging me not to spit on him, he's like, he gets him a job at the same place that I got him a job. He used to work for me. He used to be my helper on the ice cream truck. I used to pay him myself out of my own pocket. And then when he got old enough, I'm not a gatekeeper. When he got his license and all that shit, I fucking put him on to the boss, and he started driving his own truck or whatever the case may be. And now he had a much better reputation than I did for being friendly. I made money, but I was a problem, and they didn't want another one of me around. It was tough enough to even get him the job, but he knew what he was doing, and he'd been working with me for so many years. So anyway, he gets the kid a job at my job, and now I'm with my chick in the truck, and I see Buddy, and I kind of want to bury the hatchet. So I call him over. I'm like, yo, you want to smoke? And I was gonna do like how my grandfather does to me. He would never actually say he was sorry for anything. He would just start being nice to me after he was pissed off. He let me know good. So that was the look I was going for. I called him over to smoke one. You know what I mean? Let him know, like, everything's cool. Like, I'm not mad at you no more, right? So now, and I especially didn't want to bring that up because I didn't want to bring it up in front of this bitch. Like, it was still new. Like, the last thing that I wanted her to know about me is that I treat people like that. You know? Not because I was going to treat her like that or anything, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, people, everybody, we all have a mask. You know? People that are pussy, they try to act like they're tough. Like, they walk around trying to show off and be tough in front of people. And people that are actually tough, they try to tone that shit down because they don't want everybody to know about that shit. You know what I mean? So now, I wanted this to go nice and smooth because I didn't want to look crazy. So, we were talking about something that somebody else did that pissed me off or whatever, right? And he was like, in front of the bitch, he's like, yo, you gotta calm down, bro. You don't remember that time you tried to spit on me? And I was like, the fuck you mean tried to spit on you, bro? I spit dead in your fucking face. If you're gonna talk about it right. If we need to, we can call Billy Jack over here right now. He's like, all right, fine, you spit on me, but he's like, but I ain't gonna do nothing about it because I could tell you didn't want to fight. If you wanted to fight, you would have just got out of the car. I'll never forget this. Because you guys know I've always been like this. How I'm just like, I deliver everything so like monotone and shit. So I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna lie, you right. I think you know the reason, right? I'm like, I don't hit kids. I don't hit women. I don't hit old people. And I don't hit pussies. And you are wild pussy, bro. I could never put my hands on you, dude. And then a little time went by. He was sitting there thinking about it. Well, pause exempt this whole. I don't even know what you're talking about. What pause I missed. So now he's sitting there thinking about it for a minute. And he's like, yo, I feel some kind of way about what you said earlier. Like, oh, I don't hear pussy, pause. Yeah, hell yeah. I said pussies, but yeah, you're right, that's a pause. So now check this out. So that was the last thing I said. Smoking, no words was exchanged. It's like he thought about it. And he's like, I feel some type of way about what you said earlier. And now I'm talking to him like how I talk to you guys, right? But like when I say that, I don't mean I disrespect you guys. I'm saying like the way when I explain shit. So I'm like, yeah, bro, that's only natural, man. You know, it's like the shit I said was crazy. You know, you absolutely should feel some type of way. And if I'm being totally honest, I fucks with you. So it's like, if I were to see somebody else talk to you the way that I talk to you, I wouldn't let that stand. I would feel like they were calling me pussy because they know they see me standing next to you and they feel like I'm just gonna sit by and allow them to get wrecked. No, 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 no. So believe me, if somebody else were to talk to you the way that I talk to you, I would punch them in their mouth on your behalf. But when it's me, bro, you're just gonna have to deal with it. I was like, if anything, look at it like this: I'm doing you a favor. You pussy, but you didn't know you were pussy. Like you were walking around thinking you wasn't pussy, right? And now, had I not spit in your face, right, you would have continued walking around thinking you wasn't pussy. But now that you know you ain't do shit about it, and now that you heard my explanation behind it, and I'm standing right here, and you can still do something about it if you wasn't a bitch, right? Now that you know you soft, right? Maybe, just maybe, you can be careful out there in the world because if you say that shit to somebody that doesn't have any kind of fucking remorse, yo, they're gonna kill you, bro. You know, you just be lucky it was me. All I did was spit on you. Somebody else, man, you might not get so lucky. So if you're really not built the way that you try to present yourself, maybe you should just be a homebody and read some books or something. You should have seen my bitch's face, bro. She's like, what? And mind you, this is some big black dude, like taller than me, all muscly and shit, covered in fucking tattoos. It's not like it's some fucking twerp that I'm talking to. So this bitch is looking like this doesn't make sense. This is B-Bob we talking about? Nah, nah, it's not B-Bob. Somebody from back in the day when I was a dickhead before I found God. Now I feel guilty just because I laugh about that shit. Still can't help but to laugh. Yo, let me tell you, so this is a little different. This is just some mischievous shit that me and my homeboy did to one of our other friends. Stuff, but he was a bitch. But like we fucked with him. Like that was our bitch. You know. Um. So one day, this is in New York. Right? It's cold as fuck. Wintertime, right? I had my mom's car. My car was a 2-door. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have no sunroof. My mom's car was a 4-door, and it had a sunroof. So I picked them up in my mom's car. We're outside. We're beeping the horn like, yo, come on, we got one rolled up. He's like, all right, let me just get my jacket. We're like, yo, dude, we got the heat on, bro. Just run out to the car real quick. Once you get in the car, you're good. So he gets in the back seat in a t-shirt, and I fucking rolled out all the windows, locked them, opened up the fucking sunroof, and then we hit the fucking highway, and I'm doing like 90 miles an hour on the highway with all the fucking windows open, and his kid's back there in his t-shirt fucking freezing his ass off. Yo, kids can be so cruel. Back then, we didn't have all this fancy high grade shit. Well, it started to come out back then, but most people smoked just Bush with fucking seeds in it. Reggie. Pause. So now, we used to make him break up for us. And any seeds that he missed, if he didn't pick them all out, we we would look through it before we rolled up, right? If he missed the seed, because those things are nasty. Like if you leave one in there, pause, and it starts to burn, it stinks, it gives you a fucking headache. So if he missed any, we would hold them to the side, and we had a little dime bag, and we would fill dying back seeds, all the seeds that he missed. And once it got full, he had to smoke them out of a bong. If the bag never full, he was safe. So the more full that bag got, the more careful Buddy needed to be. Yeah, like I said, kids are fucked up, man. And then he did some fuck shit one day. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say what it was, but he snitched on us to our female friend about some shit that a chick shouldn't have heard about. Pause. It was that. It was about, something between like each one of us individually and a bitch. You know what I'm saying? So he went and told our female friend type of shit we'd be doing to bitches, like foul shit. And I'll tell you one of those stories in a minute. And now he pretended he didn't know, and he invited Buddy to smoke one. He got in the car, got the car up to like 40 miles an hour, and then just started smacking the shit out of the kid while the car was in motion. Alyssa, my dad and his fiance are so toxic to each other. It kills me. Fuck it, I just got bit by a fire. Ooh, them fire ants are fucking nasty. So, I want to try to keep this as PG as possible, but it's gonna be tough. One time, I met a chick that was a free spirit, and it, at the end of the night, when I was just hanging out in the city, and my boy was working on the ice cream truck with somebody else. Like they were working together. It was a busy day. There were two drivers working together on the same truck. Um, Pulled this bitch. Matter of fact, they set it up. They met this bitch. They could see how loose she was, but they didn't have the same kind of fuck it that I have. They were nervous. They didn't have what it takes to just start a conversation with a chick like that and let it lead to where it needs to lead to. So whatever, I talked to her, and then I convinced her to take a ride back with us and let us all take turns on her in the back of the fucking truck on the highway while we. So I'm driving. These guys turn or whatever, and then when it's my turn, I fucking stand up in the truck while it's doing 60 miles an hour on the highway. I'm holding the steering wheel, and then my buddy sat down in the seat and he took over driving, and then I went into the back of the truck and I took my turn. And then we kicked that bitch out on the side of the fucking highway. I mean, she deserved it in a way, because the way I got her to get out of the fucking truck, we pulled over and I told her, I'm like, yo, you like and she was like, yeah, you got some? I was like, yeah. I got it stashed behind the door for the fucking gas tank. I'm like, I'll watch for the cops. You go get that shit real quick. Obviously, there was nothing there. But she thought she was going to rob me. She thought she was going to go and take whatever the fuck I had there and pretend like she couldn't find it. So as soon as she got out of the truck, I took her fucking bag. She had a little bag with her. And I threw it out and I hit her right in the back of the head with that shit. And I just took off and just left that bitch right on the side of the fucking highway. Oh, man. Why did you do that? Because I was a scumbag back then. That's why I keep warning you, Alyssa. Watch out for these dudes. So now, check this out. The plot thickens. Like I said, my two friends were kind of wet behind the ears. If it wasn't for me, that shit would have never went down. My other homeboy, though, that motherfucker was worse than me. Like, I've been in situations with him where I pulled two bitches for us, and one of them was like acting like a hoe, and the other one was bitching and my stomach hurts, my head hurts, I want to go home, blah, blah, blah. And he ended up getting some, and I didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like that guy was like a fucking legend, right? We told him the story, right? So the next day, the chick comes back to the same place looking for me, but now we used to rotate spots, and like I said, I wasn't even working that day. So the next day, my next homeboy was in that same spot, and the dude that I was saying talking about. So now he knew the story, so he knew how this bitch was. So he's like, "Oh yeah, 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 now he'll be around. Just if you want, you can sit in the truck and wait." Blah, 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 blah. So now he's getting top in the front of the while he's serving. I like at least we waited to the end of the day. This dude got all the windows in the front of the truck covered up, getting topped off in the front of the truck, right? And then whenever there's a customer, he's not even putting that shit away. He's just flipping it up and covered it with his shirt, right? And I'm gonna tell you why I know the rest of this story. When you hear the end of it, it's crazy. So now, at one point, he did that. He went back to go serve a customer. It was some college kid. He's sitting there making the fucking ice cream cone for the kid, and the shit fucking flops out of his fucking shirt. And the kid saw that shit, and he started freaking out, running down the block, screaming. Yeah. Oh man, that shit was crazy. It gets crazier. Out, Alyssa. Right? I got another fucked up one for you. Poor kid. It was a grown woman. She was like 30. So, the kid that saw that shit. Oh yeah, fuck yeah, poor kid, man. That shit is sad, dude. Let me tell you another fucked up on the list. I'm telling you all these so you watch out. Remember, I'm a man of God now. I don't do shit like this no more. I remember one time my homeboy had these two bitches, and he brought them back to my house. Cause at the time we were young, he lived with his mom in the projects in Brooklyn, and fucking, it was a small apartment, and he had a sister that lived there, his dad, and. So he brought these bitches back to my house, right? I lived with my grandfather, but at this time my grandfather was up in this room, like couldn't get out, we couldn't walk up and down the stairs. So I pretty much had the whole house. I used to smoke in the living room and everything. He smoked cigarettes in the house, though. I wouldn't smoke in the house if he didn't smoke in the house. What's it called? So he brings these chicks to my crib. Like I let him get the living room. I brought one up to my room or whatever the case may be, right? And after we done or whatever, we go to bring these bitches back. They live in Manhattan. Both of them lived in Manhattan, right? We go to bring them back. My boy drove. I'm in the passenger seat. The two chicks in the back or whatever. And he was mentioning something about some chick that I smacked for whatever reason. Like I won't even do that anymore. But even back then, like I would have never hit a bitch with a closed fist and all like that. But I've open hand smacked them before. Um. So he was mentioning that shit, right? And this chick, so innocent. She goes, "You wouldn't smack me, would you?" I turned around. I was like, "What?" She's like, "Why'd you do that?" I'm like, "Well, you asked. If I just said yeah, maybe you would have thought I was joking." Oh man. You know what's crazy though? What that just reminded me of? My homeboy that I was talking that was there. He's dead, and it's crazy how much death surrounded me and him. You know, like that people that we had in common that like we didn't know through each other type shit. Except Speedy. So Speedy died. That was his boy that he introduced me to. Speedy just had a bad heart and just died, like out of nowhere, like unexpected. 25 years old, right? And then there was those two chicks. The one that he was with. A couple nights later, her and some other chick were out with some drug dealers, and the drug dealers gave them something, telling them it was something else, and they both overdosed and died. And then there was Max. Max was like a childhood friend of this chick that I was dating for a while, right? One of the serious relationships I had. Max was her childhood friend, and he was cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, me and him became friends. You know, like really cool dude, right? And Jay ended up taking some kind of an HVAC class or some shit like that, and Max was in his class, so they met in school, and then found out that me and Jay knew each other, and blah blah blah, whatever the case would be. Then Max died. Um, yeah, and then Jay, he died in a fucking car accident. He was in the passenger seat, designated driver. And the fucked up thing about that was, I was supposed to get married. This is 2018, right? I was supposed to get married to the chick that I moved down here with. Um, she was cheating on me. Found that out. We broke up for other reasons, like a couple 6 weeks before the wedding. But then I found out she was cheating on me, so like there was no repairing that shit. I was being a bitch though. I was going against all advice that I ever give anybody. It's tough, man. You know, it's easy to give the right advice when you're not in the situation, but when you're in the situation, it's tough, man. And I was definitely being a bitch about it, you know, and that made everything even worse. So, long story, when all that shit went down and I called off the wedding, he was one of my groomsmen, right? So they had to all get a text, you know, letting them know what was up. And he was the first one to call me, like before my cousins or anybody. He called me immediately, and he was like, "Yo, man, you good?" I was like, "Bro, not really, but I'm not ready to talk yet, man. Like, you know, just give me some time, and I'll call you when I'm ready to talk." And I shut myself down to the world for months. I wasn't talking to anybody. I was going to work or whatever, doing what I had to do, but I didn't want to speak to anybody. He died during that time. So the last thing that I said to him was, "I'll call you back when I'm ready to talk." Yeah, man. That sucks. Unfortunately, because of where I'm from and because of the life that I chose to live, people that I chose to associate with, a lot of my friends died young. A lot. I have probably lost more friends to unnatural causes than people ever fucking have friends in their entire life. You know? And some of them, like the real close ones, hit different. Jay, my boy 300, he was like, you know, like Billy Jack's age. He was one of the dudes that used to work for me when, you know, when he was a kid on the fucking ice cream truck, and you know, we got old and became like real close. I remember one time we went out on Halloween together, throwing eggs at people like a bunch of idiots, and one of the cars stopped. Buddy got out, chased us. We split up. Buddy chased after me. Me and him start fucking fighting right there in the street. And after like a couple of hits each, we recognized each other. That was my other fucking homeboy E. But yeah, the kid I was with, 300, yeah, he died. He got killed by somebody in the Bronx. My homeboy Jimmy, he threw a gyro in this chick's face while he was arguing with her, and her fucking boyfriend didn't want to do shit about it because he was afraid, and he left it alone. And then he caught my boy passed out drunk in his car, and stabbed him. He went to the hospital. Hospital said he was gonna be all right, but they missed some internal bleeding, and he ended up dying the next day. And then there was my homeboy JV, man. JV. When I was fucked up and homeless, man, Yo, that motherfucker used to come, like, wherever I was at, wherever I was crashing for the night, and he would bring me food and weed and all of that kind of shit. Um, yeah, man. So that shit sucks. A group of guys in my school would throw moon pies at homeless people. Oh, that's fucked up. Moon pies are like these little fucking marshmallow, like it's like a marshmallow sandwich with two pieces of cake and it's dipped in chocolate. Yeah, I was never that kind of homeless though, Alyssa. I always had a place to stay, but it was never permanent because I couldn't bring my dogs with me. So I would have to situate my dog somewhere, and then I'd be staying somewhere else, and that would only be temporary, whatever. It only lasted like 6 months and shit, but and that's why I don't have no sympathy for these fucking people. You know what I mean? Not that I don't have any sympathy at all, because I do understand what it. I might not be addicted to hard drugs or nothing like that. Teen addiction is such a bitch. Um, that I understand what it's like. But all those people that are homeless for long, extended periods of time because they are, what's it called? It's by choice. You know, it's like when you hit rock bottom like that, right? It's you got nowhere to go but up. It's like realistically, once you lose everything, you got no bills, obviously. So you get a job, you start getting back on your feet. If you're not doing drugs, you should be able to save up real quick. Yeah, I be TPing a hope. Let me ask you something. Who here has watched any of my full videos all the way to the end recently? The past couple of videos I put out. My guy friend that I'm really close with smokes cigarettes. He said he tried to quit, but he starts getting. Let him know that the longer that goes on, the harder it is to quit. So it's like right now is the easiest that it'll ever be. Tomorrow, you're only gonna be more addicted than you were today. Alyssa, you ever notice how I sit here smoking back to back to back to back? That's not the trans tobacco that I'm smoking. Well, it is, but that's not why I keep smoking so many of them. It's because of the actual cyst tobacco that I put inside of mix in with it. That shit is what keeps me going back every 20 minutes for another one. Let's see if this shit is starting now. Nope. Oh man, I really don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I am pretty much screwed because I need to get to work. But obviously, I can't. So what do I do? And I say I can't because, alright, the scooter's broken, right? But check this out. Um, the bus will get me to work tomorrow, but it won't get me home. I get out at 11 o'clock tomorrow, and there is no There is no bus after that time. So, what's it called? And I don't have money for an Uber. I'm broke until Friday till I get paid. So it's like I can get to, but I can't get home. Yeah, let's say it broke down on live today, like on my way home from work. How do you see my post? Imagine it. I did. No actual post? Nah, I did not. I'll check it after the stream. Pause. Um, what the fuck was I saying? Legend called homegirl. She owes you. Right? I don't know who you talking about, but nobody owe me no right. Oh yeah, my full videos. Nah, you eat the full videos. So if you watch to the end of my full videos, you can see how fucked up I am, right? Or was. There was a dude. I knew him though. He wasn't like a regular bum. He wasn't even homeless. He had a place to live and all that shit, but he was always just wasted. Except on Sunday. Because you couldn't get um you couldn't get um liquor on Sundays. Right? So he would be sober on Sundays, but the rest of the week, he'd be trashed. So he was passed out drunk on some random street in Manhattan, and I threw a cup of freezing cold water in his face, and I recorded it POV, and that's what I use to end off my videos now. Like the very end before the I Dooglas Antonio, it's me throwing a cup of water in this dude's face. Wait. What are you talking about? This? Do I have like our own messages on? Alyssa's asking somebody about the stick, which is crazy, and I don't see where anybody else wrote anything about any kind of stick. So like, what is good with you, Alyssa? I'm not even gonna throw that on the t-shirt. But what the fuck you mean the stick? I'm lost. I am extremely lost. Somebody want to shed some light. I typed something else, but it translated to the stick. But it didn't give the translate logo. Where? When it translates, it usually tells me. Oh shit, no, you wrote a bot. It translated to the stick, but it didn't even tell me that it was. That's dirty. Normally, there's a little icon in front that lets me know that it was translated. So this way, I'm like, okay, that's why. That is why it looks like something abnormal. And then I would just click on it and be able to see what it actually said. This time, nah, that shit gave me no indication it was a translation. New rule in the pause game in the t-shirt collection. Right? If something you say gets translated into a pause, it shall not be used against you unless it's something like real crazy that like it would be just wrong to deprive the world of such a t-shirt. But regular t-shirt quality pauses are non-applicable from a translation. So right there, the stick, that if it was what she wrote, maybe could have qualified at least for like a headband or something, or a wristband, or a fucking something, keychain. But since it was a translation, it does not qualify. Now, if it would have been some wild shit about the stick, different. Calling you a liar. How am I calling you a liar if I just went through like a 20-minute speech about how, oh shit, you did translate it. It did translate it, but it didn't show the translation. Hey, yo, why are you talking about this and this? Hold the door, said, whoop, whoop, stay the fuck from the police. Whoop, whoop, stay the fuck from the beast. Whoop, whoop, stay the fuck from the police. What the fuck? I did that bullshit emojis. Hey, yo, yeet. You like me talking about a steak? Pause. Peoples, peoples, peoples. Let me tell you something that I realized today that I already know, and it just reinforced what I already know. God is always looking out. God always gets me through shit. And I think the reason that he allows me to fucking go through the shit to begin with is so this way, when it looks absolutely hopeless, and then along comes this random Colombian dude that's willing to, stick his foot out to push my scooter for fucking almost 5 miles. Um, Obviously, that was God. Especially when you think about all the other times that happened. So it was in Colombia. I broke down and God sent somebody with a clutch cable for us at like 11 o'clock at night, 10:30 or something like that. In the middle of nowhere in the mountains. Right? Then, the day I got back from Colombia, like that very trip, the day I got back, um, my R1 caught a flat tire here on I-95. And I tried to make a couple phone calls. I was stuck for about 2 minutes. And then some random Colombian dude, after I just got back from getting saved in Colombia, some random dude from Colombia pulls up on me over here with plugs and everything you need to plug the tire. So he plugged my tire so I could get home. Pause. Even though I said tire, plugged is still crazy. And then now, like I said, random Colombian dude to the rescue again. And it's funny, I didn't even know he was Colombian until he was leaving. And then he said something that they only say in Colombia. And I was like, oh shit, you Colombian? He's like, yeah. So I sent him the video when I brought out there. I was like, you ain't gonna believe this shit, man. You ain't gonna believe this. My given name is Reverend Father Uncle Ruckus. No relation. I wanna I wanna cut up a I don't know what channel I can post it on. I wanna cut up a clip of Bubba from Forrest Gump saying, "My given name is Benjamin Buford, but people call me Bubba. Just like one of them old redneck boys. Can you believe that?" And then either cut to Uncle Ruckus or leave it on Tom Hanks and have Tom and then have Uncle Ruckus audio in the background. So it would be, "My given name is Benjamin Buford. People call me just like one of them old redneck boys. Can you believe that?" Oh, my given name is Reverend Father Uncle Ruckus. No relation. Alyssa, you know what's my favorite part of Forrest Gump? And check it out. That's the type of shit that makes me sound old as fuck. I saw Forrest Gump in the movie theater. And it's like I remember how like I used to think about the old movies from like before I was born, how old they seemed. And it's like that's how Forrest Gump is to you guys. And I saw that shit in the movie theater. But my favorite part, and I used to be able to say the whole, I can't remember. Days fried shrimp, shrimp gumbo, shrimp stew, shrimp salad, shrimp potatoes. That, that's about it. But he's going on for like 20 fucking minutes. Like I used to know all of the ones that he said. I'm like, damn, you ain't got no legs. And the dinosaurs? Yeah, I remember when they came out too. Every peaceful until they came around. I came to test out my sea legs, Forrest. But Lieutenant Dan, you ain't got no legs. A new Dan, I called him Newer Dan K. Newer Dan. And I called him Lieutenant Dan. Ha ha ha. I don't know why though. With the when I said my favorite part though, it was just the way that he said shrimp potatoes. That's the shit that made me laugh. I used to have a little pocket bike back then. I don't know if anybody knows what a pocket bike is. Those things are cool as fuck. I kind of want to get myself another one. Any freckles? I got a shit ton of freckles. I'm covered in fucking freckles. My whole shoulder got freckles. Hmm. Let me turn off the green screen. Stay fresh. Skin got damaged on me. And I got them on my face too. Like a shit ton of them. But when I get tan, they're kind of hard to see. Like you gotta really look up close where you can see them. Probably on my nose you can see them. It's funny. Like now they got kids out there like tattooing freckles on themselves and shit, right? When I was a kid, we used to get made fun of for that shit. Oh, you got freckles too, Elizabeth? But see, look, like I said, when I this is why it's hard to see the ones on my face, because
Mhm.
if you look, this part of my arm is the same exact color as my freckles. So if I was to go like to the beach more, and my shoulders got tan and everything, like you wouldn't be able to see the freckles because they would just blend in. Just took a devious screen. I don't give a fuck. You know for damn sure that don't give a fuck. Not at all. Uh, I saw this in the movie theater. I saw this in the movie theater. I saw this in the movie theater. Y'all was deprived. See, that's one thing that I am so thankful for growing up in the generation that I did, because we had everything the best. Like, well, we saw all the technology. Like right now, think about it like this realistically. Like we all have access to all the same shit, right? So it's not like you have any more access than I do. But I was around before all of this shit. So I got to see it all become reality, right? And then on top of that, like all the best movies, all the best music of all time, like from before or after. All of that shit came out like when I was a and shit. So it's like, it was so cool to grow up during that time period. Like all the classics are from there. Like anything that was considered a classic before don't got shit on what was going on during my time. Toy Story. I think I saw that in theaters too. Oh shit. I'm gonna. Oh, your fucking pause exam. Damn it, Alyssa. Time to go inside before I get eaten. Is crazy. Policy. Put that on your board. Let me see that motorcycle. Put that on your board. What you mean? I'm lost, Paulie. And you know what's so fucked up? So I'm doing Uber Eats. I've been doing Uber Eats, right? And on the fucking what's it called? Or the app, it says it got 24/7 roadside assistance. When I look on there, it's saying I get 10% discount. How you just had the line in the back shop. Oh, got you. No. I was saying, I was telling all the youngins, all the fucking that I saw theater when they came out. Oh, this is as stressful, Paulie. Let me show you what the fuck type of fuck shit I'm dealing with right now. So what the dude did, I just tried starting that shit. It wouldn't start. Uh, Damn, I can't even turn the light on. He disconnected this hose right here. I can't even see it now because it's fucking dark as fuck. Disconnected this hose right here. Alright. And now, hold on, I'm gonna have to put the phone down. Alright, so, let me see something. Can you see it? This hose right here. Right? Disconnected. And then, pause exempt all of this. He covered the hose with one finger, and then where the hose goes into, he covered with the other finger. And then my shit started right up. Now it won't. So I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like when Buddy did that shit, it started right up. And then he turned my idle up a little bit for me. That shit don't happen in the morning. When the thing just cuts off and shit, you know? While it's warming up. So now I made it like another 4 miles, and then it just cut off again. So I'm stressed because I don't have no time to do nothing about it. What's it called? I gotta go to work tomorrow. I gotta go to work Friday. I got no other way to get there. So, what's it called? I'm pretty much screwed. The only thing that I get lucky is if, what's it called? If I can get it to start and I can get it over to the dealer that I bought it from, and see if they can fucking figure something out. Cause I don't have to be to work until 3 tomorrow. I don't have a flashlight, bro. I was trying to shine the flashlight from my phone onto that shit, but it won't let me while I'm using the camera, so I'm pretty much fucking shit out of luck. Oh, wait a second. Hold on, I do got one. Totally one. Little clip on to my mirror. In the bathroom, so this way when I shave, I can see her. And it is removable. It's not attached to the mirror. Oh man. Somebody, my other boy that knows what he's talking about, he kind of like got it, like he was looking shit up and everything. He got it down to it's either the petcock valve pause, which is internal, or some other shit that I can't even remember what the fuck it's called. But either way, it's a part that I gotta get, and I really need a way to rig this shit up until I can get the part. You know what sucks too? YouTube owes me like $200, right? And yesterday was the day that they would normally pay out. But it's weird how they do that shit. Like it's what's it called? Um you have to hit a minimum threshold before a certain date or it doesn't work. So I didn't hit that threshold, and then all of a sudden on my birthday everybody started fucking super chatting me, but that don't count. So now I gotta wait until August for that shit. Alright, so Paulie, I'm trying to fucking hold the light and the camera at the same time. Alright, so look, it's this hose right here. Hold on. Let me use both hands to take this thing off before I break something and I'll show it. I need to be pause exempt for this whole thing because I can't be worried about pausing myself when I'm trying to explain this shit. So look, this hose goes to here. What the dude did was he covered this, had me try to start it. And when I started it, it started right up. And now that's not happening anymore. So whatever the fuck Buddy did, I can't figure it out. Yeah, so like I said, I don't know what the fuck to do because like I said, I gotta get through tomorrow and Friday. After that, everything's fine because these fucking things are cheap as fuck to fix. So whatever it is that I need to fix, I'm sure they'll have the part right there in the dealership, and I'm sure it won't cost a lot to fix, and I can just get this done, whatever. But I can't do that until Saturday, and and on top of that, now I gotta figure out how to get it there. That's the other problem. Like, how the fuck am I supposed to get this thing there? And I really have to make a folder of my background. I already have a folder of my backgrounds, but I don't have this one put into that folder. So now every time I go to look for it, I gotta flip through like 20,000 different fucking pictures because I'm always constantly screenshotting shit. Yeah, so right now, peoples, please pray for Unc, man. Because I'm in one of them situations. Yes, I know somehow, somewhere, God is going to come through. Everything's going to be good. But as of right now, man, it sure as fuck is making me nervous. I'm thinking it's your airflow from when you fell inside. But why would it take so long to fuck up? You don't think it got something to do with that shit that I connected on the exhaust? You don't think maybe that's why that shit was disconnected? I wonder. Sounds like your car, but it sounds like it could be a million things, Raina. And I don't know how to do nothing with that shit. And then the one person that I do know that knows how to do something with that shit, this motherfucker, he don't want to help. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, like yo, you're gonna have to learn how to do that shit eventually. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine. But right now, I need your help. You know what I'm saying? Like, he not only he knows what he's doing, but Buddy got a fucking pickup truck. Like, and I told you I got until 3 o'clock tomorrow to get to work. So if he really wanted to look out for me, he could here help me figure this shit out. If it can't be figured out, he could take me in his pickup truck and bring the scooter up to the fucking dealership so I can get them to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And then like that'd be it. Like problem solved. But Buddy don't want to help me. So, fuck am I gonna do? I appreciate it, Raina. I think you messed up your air. That's why you covered both holes and it started right up. But but I just did the same thing and it didn't start right up though. And then like my other point was I dropped that shit 700 miles ago, dude. Like why would it now all of a sudden? You know what I mean? Oh man, Raina. Fuck, man. Yeah, I wish you were close too. I'm just so defeated right now because you got to remember, I'm paying $510 a month for my R1, and I still got like another year to pay that shit off. And that shit has been at the shop for like 2 weeks already, and they're not even getting started on it. And I bought this scooter because I know how I they do this to me every fucking time. And this is the best shop. The other ones are even worse. So it's like, um, I'm over here busting my ass to pay for this fucking bike that's sitting at a shop. Can't even get me to the job. And I go out and spend more money to buy this fucking thing to get me back and forth until I get my bike back. And now this thing breaks down on me. Like, could you imagine what that shit feels like? This shit is a 2025. I bought it with 1,600 fucking miles. I put 700 miles myself on the shit, and now it's fucking broken. Thanks, Rain. Man. It's just, and then I start feeling guilty because when I'm not dealing with these problems, it's real easy to remind myself that, yeah, that shit is easy to fix for you, bro, not for me. So that's where the problem lies. You know what I mean? I know one person that's like you and knows how to fix it, and he's not like you because he won't come fucking help me fix it. And what's it called? And now it's like I can't do it. Not now. Maybe I can learn how to do that shit, but right now, ready to go to work tomorrow for 3 o'clock, I can't do that. I know someone that can, but he won't. So now I'm sitting here stuck thinking, what the fuck am I gonna do? The other line, where does that go? There is no other line. I mean, not that we were fucking with. It's the hose and then what the hose goes into. Those are the two things that he covered. It's fucking mosquitoes all over me now. Oh man. Yeah, the hose. Where does it go to? Besides, I don't. That's why I can't do nothing about it. I don't even know what part of that fucking thing is the carburetor. I don't know what anything is, what anything looks like, where anything fucking goes, what anything's called. I know dick about that shit right now. Nothing. So I can't even explain it to you, bro. I have no fucking idea. Not only I don't know what the part is called that it goes into, but I couldn't even describe it to you because I'm not good at doing that shit. Besides where you took it off at the top of the car. The other side. According to that dude, when he first went to go take it off, according to him, he was looking for the fucking hose that went from the fuel tank to the car. But that wouldn't make any sense because the hose is sucking, pause, from the carburetor. So if it was bringing fuel to the carburetor, that shit would have to be sucking the other way. How long have I had the scooter? I don't know. Like you know, the day I fell on that shit was the first. Uh, uh, the carburetor is the thing you took the hose off of, and that hose right there. That I'm telling you to follow. That hose goes. I can't see where it goes to though. It's buried. Not because you started a scooter with the rest of the gas in the carburetor. That's why I only got a couple of miles. Oh. But hold on, but that doesn't even make any sense though, because there shouldn't even have been any gas in the carburetor because I killed the rest of the gas in the carburetor the first time the bike cut off. So where did that gas come from? All right, so what do I do about the airflow problem? What the fuck do I do? I have an airflow problem. What does that mean to me? Like I'm stressing right now, bro. I need help, man. I need an answer. Like, what can I do, bro? No, it was hooked up, Paulie. He did that shit. It started, and then he reconnected it. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, he didn't leave it disconnected. He only disconnected it and covered it up to get it started. And then once it started, I reconnected that shit and that's it. I was riding, like I said, for like 4 miles, bro. Um, you son of a bitch. All right, so this is the hose. It goes to right here where it splits off, and one end goes. Can you even see? One end goes right here. I can't fucking see what I'm showing. One end goes right there, and the other end is the one that I can't fucking see. It goes up there. I guess to the. I guess he was right. I guess it goes to the fuel tank. The thing with the circles you call. Follow the one to the right. What do you? Which one? This one? Follow this one. Like I said, I can't. I run into a dead end. Hell the door. I don't know shit about these things, bro. Yeah, it goes to the gas tank, Paulie. Trying to learn about that shit right now, but I don't know. I know how to ride these fucking things. I don't know how to fix them. I know how to replace parts. I know how to follow instructions. I know how to fucking read the manual and you know swap out a part. But as far as this shit, bro, no, I don't nothing, bro. All right, Paulie. So the one to the right goes to the gas tank. So now what? If that goes to your gas tank, it means you have an airflow problem. You're not getting no gas sucked into your carburetor. What up, Master Dave? All right, I understand, Paulie. You telling me I got an airflow problem, but what do I do to correct this airflow problem? That's what I need to know. Knowing that I have an airflow problem, it don't help me at all what to do. How do I fix it? Master Dave, what up, man? And then, but check your MAF sensor. First of all, I don't know what an MAF sensor is. Second of all, I don't know how to check it. Third of all, I doubt this shit even has one. Master Dave, the R1 is back in the fucking mass airflow sensor. I wouldn't know how to do that shit. Nah. Especially on this little fucking thing, I can hardly fit my hands in there. If it's called one, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't think they had one. All one's in the shop, man. I bought this fucking scooter to get me around until I got the R1 back, and now it's broken. And I'm stressing, bro. Like, big time stressing. Paulie's helping me out a little bit, though. Paulie's um calm down a little bit because I feel like it's taking a little time, because I guess he's busy and it's the chat and all that shit, but like I feel like he's gonna get to the answer what I need to do. Alright, so the line that goes to the tank and goes to the carb. Wait, so that line goes to the tank and then goes to the carburetor. That means your tank has another line going out to a box or diaphragm where it gets the airflow. So you think the airflow from the tank itself being blocked, so it has nothing to do with the carburetor? What do you mean, guess your carburetor right there? I don't know about settings, car, bikes, not a single one. So, Master Dave, man, you have any thoughts on what the fuck is going on? And shit just died on me while I was riding. And now, like he said, I'm having an airflow and shit. Like the fuel is not being pulled into the carburetor. You got any suggestions? What scooter is it? It's labeled the fucking Fighter Pro 150. But give me a second, I can look to see exactly what. IUAN word. FE is in Edward, NG. YUA is in Apple, N. Right? Fengyuan, and the model is the BWS. Paul, if that line you took off is a gas line, if that line you took off is a gas line, and he did that, you only use the gas in your carburetor, means you're. Yes, no, Paulie. I believe you. I'm asking you what I do to fix it. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I totally believe you that the problem is that I'm not getting any airflow, that the gas is not getting sucked into the carburetor. So what do I do? Alright. Right, so it must be vacuum operated, fuel tap, petcock. Yeah, it has an internal petcock, unfortunately. So if the petcock is the problem, then that means I gotta replace the petcock. It's not something simple that I could do right now. Um, and then there's one other thing that goes bad on these fucking bikes. It has an scooters. It has an abbreviation. I can't remember what that abbreviation is. The carb doesn't suck fuel from the tank. It'll be gravity fed. Yeah, so that gravity line is fed by the petcock. So there should be some type of filter or something. There's always a bypass. See, this is how bad I am with this shit. This is why I don't learn how to fix this shit. Like, because it gets overwhelming to me. Like, all this shit you guys are saying sounds like a completely different language, bro. The bypass is a split and it's fucked up because he fell on the scooter on the right side and the back must be catching up now. Well, I don't believe that that's the problem. It just slid. It didn't even take that much impact. That's why you should know your machines. Yeah, it should. There's a lot of shit I should do. That's why I should have been more fucking responsible. And right now, I wouldn't have been, like so stressing about this because I would have had the money to take a couple of days off from work if I needed to, or take an Uber to work and get my fucking bike fixed. I'm 44 years old. There's no reason I should be sitting here not able to fix a fucking Chinese scooter. So believe me, the shoulda, coulda, woulda, but didn'ts are way deeper than knowing my machine, bro. Trust me. I could probably fix it in minutes if I was there, bro. Shame in a different country. Scooters are the worst. So, yeah. Like I said, man, I just need a miracle to get myself to work fucking 3 o'clock tomorrow. And the thing is, across the street from my job, there's literally a fucking a scooter place, with a mechanic there that's an honest mechanic. And, I've been dealing with him for years with my Grom. Like, I let him do little shit to my Grom. Pause. And I know he would definitely look out for me. Um, but I would have to get it there. Oh man. I mean, it also could have been worse. It could have happened on my way to work, which would have fucked me up. It could have happened on my way. Like tomorrow, I get out at 11. It would have been so much worse if that shit happened to me at 11 o'clock. Oh, this is great. So now that my scooter's down and I really need the money, Uber Eats just sent me a message about how there's some kind of a fucking promotion right now and they're paying people more for deliveries tonight. So that would have been nice to be able to do. We tell him what happened to the scooter and tell him what the guy did and ask him what he thinks. Who? Take the fans over. So troubleshooting what though, bro? Like that's what I'm saying. I don't even know how to troubleshoot it. Like I know nothing, bro. I know how to turn the fucking key. I know how to start that shit, and I know how to weave through traffic like an asshole. That's it. Remember, brother, man. I know my limitations. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, and I'm really good at the things that I'm really good at. This is not one of them. My Grom has a blown motor because I changed my own oil, dude. One time, changed my own oil, over tightened the fucking bolt, stripped not the bolt, but the part that the bolt goes into, and and then I could have got an oversized drain bolt, but I didn't do that. What I did was I tightened the bolt until it felt snug, and then I stopped before it broke loose again. And I fucking rode around like that for months, no problem, until one day it worked its way loose on the fucking highway, and all the oil drained out, unbeknownst to me. Fucking Grom seized up, right? I forced that shit to start like 4 fucking times before I finally was like, fuck this, I'm pulling over. This shit sounds crazy. Raina, that's the plan, to ask the scooter guy about my work. But the problem, I need to bring it there. So it's like, I don't know how I'm supposed to do that. I don't at all know how I'm supposed to do that. If I could somehow get it figured out, um, like how this guy got it started and start that shit up again and maybe make it all the way to work. Um, yeah, you know, but that's a big if. Oh man, I don't know what the hell to do, people. Well, a bad choice of words. That's the only thing I can do is pray. And like I was just saying before, it's so fucked up that, like I said, YouTube owes me damn near $200. Right. Plus, I get paid on Friday. But even still, YouTube owes me like $200. But I gotta wait until August 21st because they only pay you monthly, and I already missed the July cutoff because I didn't have the minimum. You have to have at least $100 before they'll cut a check for you. Well, direct deposit, whatever. So it wasn't enough by the end of June. So I missed June. So I didn't get paid in July. Now I gotta wait for fucking August. So if that wasn't the case, and see, this is like a whole perfect storm of shit. So if YouTube, if I would have got paid from YouTube yesterday, the money that they owe me, and yesterday is the date, it's the 21st. That's when they paid. If I would have got paid yesterday, the money that YouTube owes me, none of this shit would be a problem at all whatsoever. I'd be able to fucking pay a tow truck to bring the scooter up to the fucking shop. I'd be able to pay the shop to fix it. I'll be able to take an Uber to work and still be good. Appreciate you, Raina. You know, I made a lot of bad decisions in my life, and I've gotten a lot better, but I still make a lot of bad decisions. And every time I find myself paying for those bad decisions, um, I always get motivated to make better decisions in the future. And once everything works out and things go back to normal, I lose that motivation and I go back to making bad decisions again. Bad financial decisions. You know, I don't do anything that's gonna get myself arrested or anything else like that. Like, let me tell you something. Let me give you an example, right? You know the situation about me and my ex-wife, right? Like, somewhat, you know the story, right? So, the last time that we tried to patch things up, right? I had just got fired from my job and started a new job. And because of that, I had to withdraw my 401k because I wasn't working there anymore. They weren't going to hold that. The company we weren't going to hold it if I wasn't working there no more. If you have a certain amount in there, you could, but I didn't have that amount. I was like right at the amount, which once the market fluctuates, it would have pushed me out anyway, and they would have forced me to sell as soon as there was a dip. So I was like, fuck this. So I withdrew my 401k. I got all together after the taxes they pulled out and everything, like $7,000. Right? I can't remember if it was 7 or 10. I don't remember if it was 7. It was two checks. I don't remember if it was seven altogether, or if one check was 7 and it was 10 altogether. But even whatever it was, I think it was 7. But $7,000, right? And then I went to Colombia and blew that whole shit in a fucking week. In a week, right? And then when I got back from Colombia, right? Not only I spent all that money, but then she forced me to sell the stock. I didn't have much, but like she forced me to sell all my crypto stocks and send her the money, and she kept all my shit, and I had to replace all my cameras and microphones and clothes and all that shit. So what's it called? After coming back from that, blew through all that money that I had and had all my shit taken away from me. Right, the guy that I was working for was supposed to be a friend, right? And he turned out to be somebody that I couldn't trust. And I say this because I still don't know what he's mad about. Like, he literally fired me once I got back to the States and basically was telling me that, like, I should know what the fuck that he's mad about. And if I don't know, like, he's not going to tell me. He doesn't owe me an explanation and blah, 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 blah. So to this day, it's been a year. It was the end of July last year, right? Um, he still hasn't told me what it was that he's so mad about, which really still to this day bothers me for the simple fact that I didn't do anything, anything wrong that this man had any reason to be mad about whatsoever. Like, I have never done him even slightly dirty. I've never even, before I started working for him, he didn't do this. But like once I started working for him, there'd be times that he would talk to me disrespectful, like he'd be raising his voice to me and all that. Never gave it back to him. Pause. Never gave him any problems. Never took anything from him. Never said a bad word about him. I never did anything to deserve this man having any kind of anger towards me whatsoever. So whatever it is that he thinks I did didn't even happen. And since he won't talk to me and he won't tell me what it was, obviously there's no way that I can clear it up because I don't even know what the fuck that it is that he thinks I did. So so now with that being said, I was stuck in a real bad position right there because I came back from Colombia to no job. Now, if I didn't blow through those $7,000 on this ungrateful woman that fucking didn't end up fucking, being worth it anyway, then it wouldn't have mattered that I lost my job. Like whatever, I'll be all right. I got plenty of money like to hold me over until I find something. But nah, I had to blow through all that fucking money, come back with nothing, and then be sitting like, nervous as fuck when this guy decided to fire me for no reason and act like, I killed his dog, but not tell me what the fuck that's bothering him. You know what I mean? Like that was weird as shit. Oh yeah. But since that shit pissed me off and I was talking about it, right? I forgave the guy, but it bothers me. Um, what's it called? Yeah, but the whole point is me, even though that particular 7,000 shouldn't even have really made or break me, because over the years should have had way more than that put to the side. That's irrelevant. I just got $7,000. There's no reason that I should have been in a position where I was struggling, but I made horrible choices. The bulk was the bike that I bought out there, you know. Um, and then there was the plane trip and the Airbnb and all of that shit, you know what I mean? But the bike I bought out there, the bike was supposed to make sense because obviously we were supposed to stay together. And the 2 years that we were together, every month I was in Colombia, no matter what, every single month. And we had to take Uber because we don't have a car or nothing out there. So the Ubers add up, and it's like it's expensive for me to get there to begin with. So it's like every time we gotta take an Uber somewhere, like I feel that shit. So we don't really go that many places, which is a shame. So I bought the bike out there, so this way we could bond, like we could go riding together and go places and shit, and do things. And I had that bike for like 3 days because after that it needed to go to the shop. And then by the time I got back here, me and my ex-wife were done. So even if she was willing to give me the bike back, which, trust me, it's worth giving her the satisfaction. I didn't even want to ask for none of my shit back. I already told her a while ago. When she fucked up and then she wanted to talk, I told her, alright, after you send me all my shit back, all my clothes and everything. And she refused. So I didn't even bring it up again. And then even when the judge was like, Oh, is there any property? Well, I was like, nah, no, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? No, I said no thank you is what I said. Um, because I know how she is, you know. And if she knows that I really want my shit back, right? Um, and she's not, and she has the power to withhold my shit, it's gonna make her feel good. Like she's gonna get something out of that shit. You know what I mean? So I ain't even want to give it a satisfaction. Nah, you know what? You get keep that shit. And then, you know, at the end of the day, this particular part, I gotta try really hard to remind myself not to get satisfaction out of this myself. You know, but you know, she lives in a really poor country. You know, the wages out there are fucking horrible. So it's like for me, shit is real easy to replace compared to what it is for her. So it's like I'm sure she sold all my shit. I had a gold chain, a gold wedding ring, both 18 karat, Prada sneakers, Jordans, whole bunch of fucking clothes. She probably kept some of it, sold some of it, but I'm sure that meant a lot more to her than it did to me. So, you know, 'cause don't get me wrong, right now, I'm going through it. And if I had my chain, I probably wouldn't have sold it, and I definitely wouldn't have sold it because that's why I bought this. I bought this chain to replace the one that she took from me. I didn't even feel right without a chain, you know. My wedding ring though, I definitely would have sold that shit. And the thing is, gold is so much more expensive than it was when I bought that shit, man. Oh, when I bought that shit, gold was cheap as fuck. So I could have got so much for that ring. It's disgusting. And I wouldn't be worried about how I'm getting to work tomorrow. And the fucked up thing is, when the reason it's a little prematurely. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. God bless. Be safe. Have a good night. Pray gets to work tomorrow. Gets the scooter fixed. Everything works out. Please, please, pretty please. Later, people.